Record. Hey everybody. So today I have asked my teammate Jen to do a little bit of a video for you guys because Jen is amazing. She's amazing in a lot of things, but she is amazing at customer care and follow-up. And I feel like sometimes we kind of lack in that area simply because we just don't take the time to follow up with our customers, or maybe we just don't have a good system. So today, I kind of wanted to interview Jen a little bit on how she works her system. Guys, I don't know if you guys know this, but Jen, when she started, Jen, you started back in when? When did you actually start?
I started working the business in October of last year.
October of last year. Pretty much every single month, Jen has at least been in the top 10 or the top 12 of Julia's PV for her team, Roz even. Jen has always been, and sometimes she's been at the very top of that. So Jen has always had just super incredible PV. I'm talking like 2,500 and over almost every single month since she's been working this business. So over a year, she's had that phenomenal PV. And it's not that she's had the same people all the time. She's constantly adding new customers and converting customers to ambassadors. So it's not like she's just had the same people ordering over and over again. She's phenomenal at customer care. So I wanted to just kind of ask her a couple questions about how she makes this work. So Jen, the first thing I wanted to ask you is, what would you say is the number one rule that attracts customers? And I wanted to start with this because I think posting is so big to draw in customers. What would you say is the number one thing that you post about that attracts customers to you, or attracts potentials to you?
I think the most important thing is I post in my own voice. I post that as I would talk to people as they know me. So that goes back to what we hear a lot with using posts that are personal. Those definitely attract the most traffic. Certainly I will use a graphic here and there, but for information purposes, but in terms of attracting people, keep it personal. I posted one the other day that got a couple of people to send me messages, and I said, this time of year we put so much effort into others. It's time we put ourselves at the top of our priority list. And I kind of held a little sign that said that. And I got a few messages on that. Testimonies are huge. If you have someone that that you can give a testimony about, those are huge. We all hear all the time that the stories sell, right? And your graphics and other things will tell. So that's really important, those testimonies. And I think too, posting to your potential. If someone that you have been talking with has mentioned headaches and they've kind of fallen off your messaging, or you see something in a post and they've mentioned that, you better believe that I'm going to have a post on migraines or headaches, how it's related to gut health and how Plexus can help with that. Absolutely. Definitely target the audience.
Awesome. Okay, so when you see somebody, or when somebody, comes to you, messages you, whatever, and says, hey, I would like some more information. Oh, that's the big doozy right there. You're going, okay, now what do I do? What do I send? And I think some people are kind of freaked out by that. So when you have somebody that comes to you and they just want more information, what do you send them?
Okay, so that is the huge question, right? We hear it all the time. And I see this pop up all the time. Can I have more info? Absolutely. You can have more info. I never send information. That sounds like a big, what? Can I have more information? And I send none. Plain and simple. The first thing I do is I ask another question. What are your health goals? I would love to help you with that. And we have the products just to help with pretty much anything you need. I need some information for you. What are your health goals? And that is absolutely where I go next. And it's short. Pretty much knock that right out. If I could just say something too about sending information, please never, or I should say I have never put my website in the comments of a post. Never. Because it is my belief, and I can say this with confidence because I've done well with PV, that you need to set yourself apart. You are not a salesperson. We are not we're not doing it that way. Plexus is different, and it's all about relationships. And I feel that our website is designed to go to knowing what you're going for and how you're going to buy it. And that is where I come in. I will direct you towards the products you need, and you will already know how you're going to buy it by the time I give you the website. So please don't make that mistake, because I think first of all, it's a turnoff. And I think you come across as a salesperson, and I certainly don't see myself as a salesperson. So I just wanted to throw that out there as well.
So when you ask them about their health goals, and you say, okay, what are you looking for? And say that they say, okay, I've got migraines, or I've got fibromyalgia, or I'm just really tired, or I'm not sleeping. I've got some GI issues, and you kind of narrow down what they're looking for. What do you send them at that point?
Okay. So in order to save time, because quite honestly, I am not going to have individualized information for each person. I have a quick blurb, probably about this much so, on a document on every product. And I have literally it saved on my computer as quick blurb about each product. Mm-hmm. And if someone is looking for, gut health, I'm going to go and I'm going to cut and paste my Slim probiotic and my BioCleanse. And I will, put that in a document for them. I label the document as my friend's name. So if Melissa is looking for information, I don't send her a document that says Triplex explained. It will be labeled Melissa. And that's for two reasons. Number one, I know what I've sent her. And number two, it's personal. And I will adjust some of the wording if I need to, so that I'm talking to Melissa about those issues. And sometimes there are more products that, depending on what they're looking for, more than 3. If someone's looking for weight loss, you might send Block, Boost, Accelerator, Slim, Triplex. You've got yourself about 5 products there, right? And I let them know, and I put this down. I don't recommend all of these to overwhelm you or to make a sale. I say that's not the favorite part of my job. My favorite part is making these products work for you. So I give you all the information so you can make the best decision for yourself. Because I don't want them to think I am pushing product on them. I'm giving them information for them to make an educated decision on what they need. And that's the other reason for the document and all the quick blurbs. You don't want this. You need it. And I'm going to tell you why.
Absolutely. That's wonderful.
And then I let them know, hey, take some time to look over this document, and I'll get back to you in a few days. Again, I'm making a note on my calendar when I'm going to get back to them in a few days. But please, in the meantime, feel free to ask me questions. And that is when I start to send information.
Absolutely. And I will say too that, and I'll throw this in there, but there have been times, especially here lately, that people will come to me and say, hey, I've got this specific issue. I've been looking at the probiotic. I think it's great. I kind of want to try the probiotic. And I say, okay, well, at that point, I'm not going to send them an email. I'm just going to say, okay, let's get you started. But here, I would love for you to try the BioCleanse at the same time. And let me explain to you why they work so well together. Mm-hmm. And then that way I can send them information maybe on Messenger or whatever, instead of just an email, and say, okay, here's how you order and all of that. And so, and that way, there may not be a need to specifically send them an email every single time. But I think in like your case that you were talking about, they don't really know where they want to start. Right. I think that is the perfect way to do it. So just know that you're not tied to that email, but that is, that's the basic way that we do it, but you're not always tied to that. But I want to say too, Jen, after you send that first message and they say, okay, I'm going to order, Am I back? Did I cut out?
Yeah, I cut it for a little bit.
I think my internet's kind of going
okay. I didn't know if it was you or me.
No, it was me. Okay. So, if they say, okay, I kind of want to buy, I kind of want to, try these products. What do you send them then? What do you tell them?
Okay. So I have another file saved on my computer, and it's called Cost More Info. So I have it set up for if someone's ordering Slim only. I have another one for probiotic. I have the Triplex, and I can easily add into that. And we'll add this document later. So I know it sounds a little weird right now, but I send them a document on the 3 ways to buy. I break it down by how much it costs per month. I also break it down by how much it costs per day. And I put a little note at the bottom that, hey, I love to see how things are broken down cost by day, because I used to run out to the coffee shop every day And it helps me justify it in my own mind. Again, I'm talking to them, even though it's an informational document. Let's see. Again, I save this as the person's name. So it'll be saved as Melissa 2. Again, I'm keeping track of what I've sent her, and I can easily look back and reference that. I spend a lot of time on the math part of it if someone is ordering 100 PV or more. I let them know, retail is the most expensive, and you have 60-day money back guarantee no matter how you order. Preferred is where I use the word incentive pricing by ordering preferred, and you set up an auto shipment. And you'll see in the document when we attach it later, I write in there, insert eye roll. I know what you're thinking. It's not like that. You can cancel, pause, change the date at any time. There are no tricks. I say all the time to my friends that, there are no tricks. I am upfront with you about everything, which is why I think notifying people about auto shipment is huge. We are not out to scam anybody. So I let them know that as well. And then for wholesale ambassador or business ambassador, I will break it down by how much the welcome pack would be if you ordered triplex, how it's cheaper than ambassador pricing, what it would be the following month, and what that breaks down to per day. Because I want them to see, and they could easily look retail, preferred, and wholesale right all at once, how the pricing works out. But I do let them know if you are only ordering 1 or 2 products, wholesale pricing is probably not for you. It is not financially beneficial for you because they will see that the price per day and the monthly price is about the same. The benefit comes from 100 PV or more and you're 15%. So it's all explained there and not overwhelming. It's short. So I send them a document, Melissa 2, pricing info. And then I write, I'm so excited for you to start. You don't just send pricing information like, I'm so excited for you to start. I just know you're going to love it as much as I do. And then I will include the website because I don't want to wait for them to say, oh, okay, I'll order. Because I've had people place an order through the corporate website and now mistakenly they're under someone else because they're randomly assigned someone. So here's the pricing information. Here's my website. And just because I'm talking as I would type this, and just because I love a graphic, here's the how-to. And I attach that how to order as a customer graphic. If you're interested in ordering as an ambassador, I can send you that graphic too. So I kind of boom, boom, boom that out there.
Okay. Let's jump ahead. All right. So you've gotten to the point where they're going to order and you've sent them all in the information about how to order and you've been very specific about that. So there can be no snags on that. Assuming that they order, okay, and you get that email that says that they have ordered. What now? What do you do?
Okay. Immediately, as soon as I see that, I will send them a thank you graphic. And I have these that I've saved for each month. So December, it looks like a Christmas graphic and it says thank you on it. So I send that, a thank you graphic. Thank you for your order. Your products should arrive in just a few days. Let me know when they do. You are just going to love this. I'm so excited for you to start. I can't wait to be a part of your success story. So that's the first thing I do. Secondly, probably the next day, because I don't ever want to overwhelm people. I say, I will send your guidelines shortly. The next day, I send them guidelines on how to take their products. And now what I do is, this is where it gets very important because now you have a customer to care for. If we are to look, I'm just going to pull up my December calendar since it's here and it's just easier. So let's say Melissa ordered on December 1st. So I have written on my calendar, December 1st, TY Melissa, because I need to tell Melissa, thank you. Now I'm going to go down to January 1st and I'm going to write TY Melissa because that's when her auto shipment will run and I need to send her a thank you on January 1st, which of course would be a January graphic. And then I'm going to go back a week and I'm going to write AS Melissa. That's auto shipment. I'm going to give her 1 week notice that her auto shipment will process. And I typically do that with Facebook Messenger voice message. I'll be like, hey, Melissa, I just want to give you a little heads up that your order is set to process in 1 week. If you don't have any changes to make to it, So convenient, sit back, do nothing, your products will arrive shortly. If you want to make a change on the date or add product or take some product away, let me know and I can walk you through those steps. But like I said, when I sent out that information on pricing, nothing is a trick. So I let them know a week before their order processes that it's going to happen. The other thing I do is we need to check in on our customers. If we're going to retain customers, we have to check in on them. So going back to December 1st when Melissa ordered, I'm going to make a check mark next to December 8th, and it's going to say, check Melissa. On December 8th, I'm going to say, hey, your products have arrived. And I even go back to the tracking and say, hey, I saw your products arrived on December 5th. You've had a few days to go through taking them. How's it going for you? Are you finding it easy to fit into your day? And then I'm going to make a check mark on about a week later. Now, I probably won't do it on the Thursday. I don't want to seem obvious, so I'll go to the Friday, December 16th. Check Melissa. Hey, Melissa, you're about 2 weeks in. How are you doing? Is the schedule working for you? Because I want you to know it's not when you take the products that's important, it's consistency. So if it's not working in your day, let me know. We can tweak that. And sometimes, you don't hear much back. Let me hold that thought for a minute. The first month, I'm going to check in with them pretty much weekly. Month 2, I'll check in every other week. Now, I've checked in with her and said, thank you, December 1st. I've checked in with her on the 8th, the 16th, and then I have the auto shipment date when I'm going to check in again and notify of her auto shipment. So that's 4 check-ins in that first month. So important, check in. Month 2, I'm going to space it out a little bit unless we've made tweaks to the schedule. If we've tweaked the schedule, I'm going to check in with her a little more often. Now, some of you may know that you check in with people and you hear nothing, no matter how many times you've checked in. And I think that's really frustrating because you're working hard to make these products successful for them. So I acknowledge that they have not gotten back to me. And I simply say, those who work with me and let me know how the products are going and how their day is going, the scheduling, those are the people who find success. And I want success for you. So if things are not working how you're expecting, we may simply need to tweak dosage or scheduling. And hey, if things are going great, you can even just send me a thumbs up emoji. Like, that's fine. I just want to know things are okay. I also know that those people who don't answer me and don't work with me are not as successful. Don't be one of those. I always end with that. Don't be that person.
I love that. I love that. I think that's great. I think it's kind of acknowledging the elephant in the room,
Mm-hmm.
Hey, you're not responding. I really want to make this work for you.
Exactly. And it also puts the ownership back on them. It is not the product's fault. We've got to work together because what I've sent you is a guideline and everybody is different. While those guidelines work for most, for you, maybe you need to tweak it. So it takes the ownership off of me and off of the products and put it really where it does belong. And that's on the person.
Right. Absolutely. Okay. Yeah. So you just kind of, that's how you check in on them. So, weekly and then every other week and then just kind of sporadically after that. So that I love this system. And guys, we're going to put up some documents for you guys on the team page, and we're going to include some text up under this video. Maybe not today because Jen's got a pretty packed day, and I've asked her to send me some of the stuff that she sends. So I'm going to get her to maybe drop that under there tomorrow. But I wanted just any other tips, Jen, that you have for customer care, because that's really what this was all about today. I just wanted to make sure people knew how to take care of their customers. Any other little tips that you have? I know you have some great ones that you're.
I do. So on January 1st, when I send my next thank you, it will be, a new graphic for January. And again, I will say, it typically says thank you. And then I put ... for your order. And then I'll look on their Facebook page real quick and see what their last post was about. And I put in a personal something. Oh my gosh, I saw you were decorating your tree. It looks fantastic. Have a Merry Christmas. Oh, I see you just went to the zoo. Oh, I loved that zoo going there. I always make something personal attached to my thank you. And this is another tip that I do every day. If you look on your back office, you have a tab, the last tab to the right, called Account Services. And if you click on Account Services and go to Account Inquiry, you will see the orders that have run for that day. Now, I think my system works very well for me. I have my thank yous, my auto shipments, everything's ready. If I know Melissa made an order on December 1st, when I go through account inquiry on December 1st, I should see an order run from her. And that's when I send my thank you. Now, what if I go to account inquiry and there's nothing from Melissa on my calendar? She should have ordered. What is going on, right? Two things can happen. They may have switched their date, which for me happened quite a bit here in December, which I understand. Or they've canceled their auto shipment. Okay? So if they've changed their date, I need to erase in my calendar and make adjustments so that I remember to send my thank you. Thank yous are so important. If I see their auto shipment has canceled, you must acknowledge it, because chances are they didn't call you and say, hey, I'm canceling my auto shipment. I've never had anyone say, I've canceled my auto shipment. Have you, Melissa, ever had someone tell you?
No one's ever going to admit that.
Never going to tell you. So I say again,
call them out on it. If you call them
that's
out,
right.
They're like, well,
Yeah, you must, because that's your friend or your family member, and you don't want it to be awkward the next time you see them, or you don't want it to be, again, the elephant in the room. Acknowledge it. And so I always say, I noticed you canceled your auto, no, that's not what I say. I never use the word cancel. Yes. I noticed that your auto ship had canceled date came up. Do you have too much product, or have you put your account on pause? Always say that. Now, I will tell you, 9 times out of 10, people have too much product and they're putting it on pause. If I let it go, I wouldn't know to check back in with them the following month to see if they're ready to reorder. And I also always say, because I want to make sure I'm giving you the customer service you deserve and have grown used to. I want to know how to proceed. So if they have too much product, I'm going to make sure that I've got notes on that so I know when they need to reorder. If they've put it on pause, I say, I have people all the time who put their accounts on pause because they think they feel so great. Then they realize they need the product. So when you're ready, I'm here. I'm ready for you. I always leave the door open, but you don't want it to be awkward ever, because it's all about relationships always.
Well, this is not a question that you and I had talked about before, but I kind of want to put you on the spot and see how you would handle it. Not intentionally, but
yeah, thank you.
As you were talking, I was thinking about it in my mind. I was thinking, okay, so when you get these customers and they say, oh, well, I have too much product, it typically means they haven't been consistent with the product. So what do you say to them when you know they haven't been consistent because they have too much? They shouldn't have too much. So how do you handle that? What do you say?
The first thing I say is, how much product do you have left? That's the first, because I want to know where they belong on my calendar, first of all. How much product do you have left? Do you have, a month's worth, or do you have a couple of weeks worth? Because I want to mark my calendar. Secondly, I will say to them, that the products only work if it's consistent, right? You've got to be consistent. If the timing is tough, hey, let's work on the schedule. So I turn it back onto, let's work together. Let's work on the schedule where it's easy for you so that you can stay consistent. And that's how I would handle that one.
Okay, perfect. That's what I we get that all the time. Well, they've got too much. They don't want to order. Okay, well, let's talk about why they're not ordering. They're not being consistent.
But make them talk to you.
Right.
Make them talk to you.
Right. Communication is so important when you're caring for your customers.
Mm-hmm.
So let's, acknowledge that our little elephant in this is that does sound like a lot of work for people. That, the customer care thing, keeping up a calendar and keeping a list of your customers and checking your account inquiry. And it kind of seems like a lot of work. But if you got a system, it's really not. So, you were telling me earlier, you only have to check on like 1 or 2 people a day, sometimes nobody that day. It just depends. And so it really is not as much work as it sounds. But tell me, if somebody's kind of thinking in their mind, gosh, that just sounds like a lot of work. Tell me why it's worth it for you.
Okay. First of all, organization is key. If you're organized and you have everything in place, you're not scrambling. I literally just click, thank you. And I use voice messaging a lot. So I think the most people I have run on one day is 4. I can finish that in less than 10 minutes. Mm-hmm. And that's with making it personal. And again, some days I don't have any run. So organization, little bit of time because you have it all good to go. Now, as Melissa said, my PV has been pretty awesome.
Really awesome.
Pretty awesome. When you look at 25% of about $2,500 to $3,000, that's a big chunk of money. is it worth it to keep those people happy and to keep you getting paid very well? The company wants to pay you well. That's why they give 25% commission over $500. So it's your job to make it work for you. And quite honestly, in the beginning, when you have maybe you're silver or you're just starting out, a customer base is where you're going to make your most income. So you've got to care for that. That has to be super important. You know, and we talk about this a lot. Happy customers make great ambassadors. I was a customer, became an ambassador. Melissa, Lindsay, all customers who became ambassadors. If you treat them and show them how Plexus is different than anything they could buy in a store, that is something that will stick with them, and they're happy to pass on to others. Absolutely. So it is worth it.
It is definitely worth it. I love that you said that, you know, when you're first starting out, I mean, when I first started out, I had a pretty high PV and I was making these really awesome paychecks. And I can tell you right now, it didn't come from my team. It didn't come from my ambassadors on my team or, you know, points or anything like that. It came from, you know, commission. It came from preferred customer bonuses. That's how I was making my big paychecks in the beginning. So you got to have that customer base, and to keep that customer base and to really keep rolling with that, you have got to learn to take care of these people. So I'm so thankful that we did this today. Jen, thank you for taking some time out of your day right here close to Christmas to talk to me about this and to kind of educate people on how you do this, because I think your system is incredible, and it's by far the best one that I've ever heard. And I was over here taking notes myself. I mean, I got my notes right here. I was taking notes myself as I was like, oh, I totally got to revamp how I'm doing it even.
Well, and you know what? If I could even mention that at the start of every month I go through my customer reports and I organize it by run date, and I go through my detailed genealogy, because remember, wholesale ambassadors are customers. Right. And I check all the dates, and when I pull up my new calendar, I write all new TY when it's supposed to run their order, and a week before auto shipment every month. On the first of the month, you can guarantee that's what I'm doing.
And so I think it's important you said that too, that your wholesale customers or your ambassadors that just signed up for wholesale prices, guys, you can't treat them like ambassadors. You have got to treat them like customers, because that's exactly what they are. They just chose to get the cheapest price. Now, they may be in your detailed genealogy, but they're still customers, and we still have to treat them exactly like that. So you can apply everything that Jen just talked about to your wholesale ambassadors as well. So anyway, I think that's awesome. Jen, thank you so much for doing this with me today.
No problem.
I can't wait to share this with our team.
I know, I'm excited.
I hope that I know everyone's going to get so much out of this. So thank you so much, and everyone have a Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, everyone. Take care.